Hypixel has many games, and many of these need updates, even if they don't want to update. So today, I'll be giving out one update idea for every game on Hypixel. Now, one thing I will not be doing in this video is going over balance changes. So no debating over what kits or classes need balance changes, although the Milkman definitely needs a massive upgrade. However, we can make all kits unlocked and fully upgraded, and therefore balance the game a little bit for newer players that might be better at PvP than older players who just kind of, harp on the kits a little bit. For the more experienced players, however, we can add another prestige upgrade to balance out the reduced time it takes out to grind level X kits. Now, this may be taking away a significant part of the culture of the game, but the prestige upgrades will still provide something to grind towards without balancing the game too much in favor of the older players. One thing that I think will significantly improve parkour houses is adding checkpoints for parkour challenges, so that when you fall into the void, you can respawn at the checkpoint. It's going to add some variety to the parkours that otherwise just kind of tend to be in the same formula, you know what I'm saying? Same repetitive thing over and over again, you know what I mean? But yeah, on to the next one.
Not really. It gets really nervous. I absolutely.
Ban Kipinator. Just kidding. In order to keep the games interesting, even when it's, a blowout, we should make it so that the games last only 3 to 5 minutes instead of 12 minutes. Yeah, I don't want to be chasing some camper for 12 minutes. I don't have any ideas for this game because I don't really understand the mechanics or play it that often, but this guy replied to my thread with a detailed fishing update idea, so I guess this is it. Amogus. I really don't know what to do with this one, as it is already a very deep game. Maybe disable chat in-game, maybe add maps, I don't know. Either one of the two. Make it so that dying in-game doesn't mean you're out for the rest of the game, and that total kills will win you the game when time is up. This would significantly reduce the amount of time spent waiting in queue, as well as dead time for newer players. Because let's be real here, it's so annoying getting killed immediately at the start of the game. Reduce the game time slightly, because it is way too hard to win as a survivor sometimes, and you need more time to actually win. Transitioning from another zombie-based game, we have a game literally called Zombies. One thing that Zombies really needs is an actual solo player mode. This makes it so that people who want to fly solo don't have to deal with level 1s buying the wrong zone or having to party and make 3 other people leave. Since we were already on an arcade game here, might as well address the whole arcade lobby now. One of the main things that Hypixel needs to do is fix up the NPCs. They can still keep the rotation format, but the all games NPC needs to be in the middle, as well as moving these games on the screen to different lobbies and replacing a medium games NPC with a small games NPC and making Farm Hunt a large game. I am definitely not biased here. This will revive a lot of games that would be in or would be out of the lobby, which is why I'm not doing them all, because some of them, they don't need an update really, because they're kind of simple and we'd be here forever, so no. But let me get through the ones that need ones real quick. Reduce player health by half to make stealing kills harder. Please, I don't like it when my kills get stolen.
Bowling animations be like.
Nice car.
Please add at least another map to each of these games, and maybe touch up the aesthetics for some of these, because they really need one. But
North Star, okay, North Star.
Make backgrounds accessible to all players and not cosmetic, because some newer players might be duped into thinking some rich kid in the background is an absolute legend at building instead of actual good builders. Remove the upgrade system and add a progression system. This will make it easier for new players to latch on and give something for experienced players to do. Remove the upgrade system and hey, wait a minute, this is the exact same script again. Ugh, unbelievable that this Rebian guy doesn't even have any ideas for these games. You should make sure to unsubscribe and not like this video, and make sure to report him for good measure. This is atrocious behavior. Move the upgrade system to make it easier for players to drive the karts early on, because it's extremely annoying if you don't have any upgrades to just drive the car. I mean, seriously, you can't, it's borderline unplayable. But if you do have upgrades, it's actually playable, kind of fun. I haven't played this game very often, so I don't really know what to do here. I've thought about lowering the game time to maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes, or balancing the hats, but what is most important to me, at least, is remove the upgrade system now. This guy on the forums has some pretty good ideas. However, I would give new players a starting coin allowance of $50,000, you know, in like out of game coins, not to start off each game, because that would just be, you know, a little too much money. And also I would nerf the diamond armor a little bit to balance out the gameplay towards the vampires.
Have a water.
Sir, please you need to stop. There are children.
Please.
Update Watchdog, please, please, I'm begging you, Hypixel, please, 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 update Watchdog, make it better somehow. Okay, I know I was gonna talk about class changes, but really the update for this game was good, and really the only thing to do is balance out classes, I guess. But one thing that needs to happen is to buff the shark class, because the shark class is one of the most fun classes to play when it's effective, but it's not really. Please upgrade it now. I'm going to combine every duels game mode here, as it is very hard to update a game mode where, say, you just hit people, and there is also an update just released like a month ago. So, however, there has been quite the dead games problem in this lobby. So in order to revive these game modes, why not just put up a duel of the day NPC to help revive these dead game modes?
Art of War, Sun Tzu says, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. So I decided to do some investigative journalism.
Wow, this lobby is dead. Anyways, these games could really use some updates. Any updates. One thing that I think needs to be implemented first is reduced player requirements to start. I mean, really anything works, but this is the easiest to do. Add a third wool catcher and make it so people can only capture 2 wools at once. This will make it harder to dominate the game for experienced players, while it also makes it easier to capture the wool for noobs with less defense on each wool site. Flash on the screen when you die to tell the player not to leave, or make it even more obvious than just flashing on the screen, because there is a problem with players leaving mid-game after losing round 1, and we need to do something about that.
Oh, their toaster head's purple chef was learning how to climb upstairs using only my teeth, but then I fell down the stairs.
I don't play this game very often, but when I do, I really don't want hints covering the whole screen. It would be nice if one of the hints was on to how to turn the hints off. Okay, so this game is still in development, so it's a little hard to pick an idea here, especially since there is a community ideas thread, but maybe adding more disasters is a good idea for the game.
So I say,
We need to build a wall.
Move the game into the Mega Walls lobby, rename it to Classic Walls, and put it right next to the Standard mode. This will hopefully increase traffic to the game.
I was wondering, what's the recommended amount of dedicated RAM I should have to a server?
Okay, so we just have vanilla SMPs here right now, but what about modded SMPs? Like, what if we can get, I don't know, Pixelmon like the old days? What if we can just host those kinds of SMPs on Hypixel? Reduce player count and queue time to make the game queue faster. I don't think this game needs an update other than new maps. It's really good in its current state right now, and it's kind of arcade style, so yeah, just add maps.
Hello?
I love you.
Increase the chances of not being blown up by someone else's TNT, or at least make it so that you can't be blown up through a wall. This would make the game way less irritating to play when you get blown up, because even though you gave the person the TNT in a duel and they just run up to you and blow you up. It's a little agitating. Move queue requirement down to 4 for all mats and make the game's queue faster so that the game won't take forever to queue.
Skedaddle, skedoodle! Your dick is now a noodle!
Reduce the required score to win to 1500, but make the points go up slightly slower. This will help reduce game time when there's a blowout happening and, you know, you don't want to be sitting there all day waiting for the score to go up. Make teams mode queue quicker so that people can actually play the game mode instead of, you know, it never queuing. Or add another NPC for teams mode. I don't really know.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars?
I know I said all modes here, but Mega really needs a serious rework. First off, make all the achievements legacy. Second off, make the game a little less mega and queue a little more faster. This will help achievement hunters and also make the game queue a little easier because clearly achievements is not helping right now. Eliminate the second round of the game because new players keep leaving once the first round ends. This would also reduce the players needed to 2, which will help the game queue more. This game gets updated so often I can't keep track of it. I'm gonna have to ask the forums for suggestions. Okay, I got an idea. Update minions. We need them to do more for us. We need to be able to summon armies of these and update the field too, make them get resources quicker. I just want to flood my island with minions, please. That's 6? Can't build. Can't build. Is that a 7? 6, 7. Okay, I saved my best for last here. There haven't been a lot of updates for newer players here. You know, players who don't exactly sweat the game. So why not add redstone items to the game? It would make doing funny stuff in the game a lot easier, and I'm totally not going to milk this for content. But anyways, what do you think? Did you enjoy this video? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.